Hey everyone, this is Josh from Visto for another episode of Talent Tips. I'm happy to be joined by Ayush Grover. Ayush, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Josh. Very
Uh,
excited to be here.
Absolutely. Ayush, can you quickly give a quick intro? Just tell us a little bit more about who you are, where you're working right now?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Ayush Grover. I am currently leading the talent acquisition at Swift Medical. We're a fast growing Canadian startup in the medtech space. And about me, I've been in the talent and people space directly and indirectly for the last 12 years. I started my career in hospitality and was in the learning and training function, heavily involved in hiring, building, and developing teams. Always had a very keen interest in employee acquisition and candidate experience. And over the years, naturally gravitated towards talent. Here at Swift, I work with teams across the organization to hire the best talent and build a great candidate experience. This is my first role where I'm the first person in the talent team in a hyper growth company. So it's been a very exciting, rewarding, also a super fun journey so far.
And I'm sure a little bit busy too. So let's get into the second question. And a big reason too, Ayush, I was excited to have you on is, of course, you are an immigrant to Canada yourself. And so I think you'll have really good insight for our second question, which is, can you give us 3 tips for aspiring immigrants who are looking to hopefully land their first job with a Canadian company?
Absolutely. I love that question, Josh. And I personally went through a lot of time where I was working on my personal strategy and making sure that I'm optimizing my time, my search, and everyone's time involved in the process. So first and foremost, like I like to say to most people that I'm working with, a lot of friends that I'm helping through this is research and create a job strategy. A big no is do not apply mass apply to roles. Do not apply to every role that you see out there, but also research about the particular area of business that relates to you in that country, the company that you're applying to, their culture, the role. And also, back to the basics, read the job description thoroughly. Don't just scan it for words that attract you, read it carefully. Thousands of jobs are posted to LinkedIn and Workopolis, Indeed every day. It can be extremely time consuming to go through everything. So create a strategy. All of these sites have job emailers that you can customize based on what you're looking for. So find and target opportunities that are the best fit and excite you rather than just finding a job and getting in. So now that you have a job search strategy, you're getting those emails, you're going on the internet, you're looking for those jobs. Having a crisp resume and a custom application is extremely important once you're applying for jobs. With everything going virtual and also the candidate probably not being in the country at that point in time, your resume is key to getting interviews and job opportunities. And like everything else, over time, resumes have also evolved from a traditional way with lots of detail in multiple pages. It's become a single pager that reads the highlights of your work experience rather than that long list of all the things that you've done. So tailor your resume for every job opportunity. You cannot use the same resume for every job. You have to make sure that you're highlighting how what you have done relates to that particular job. So do not hit apply with a generic resume and expect to hear back. Customize, customize. It is the key. And again, cover letter. Should you send a cover letter with your resume? It's a debatable topic. The use of cover letters is still quite. I'm not on either side, but I can definitely tell you that a well-written cover letter can surely solidify your intent and how your past experience relate to it. And lastly, on that application question, please answer for all candidates. Please answer those application questions with all your heart. They deliver how well you communicate. So answer them carefully and objectively. Don't just fill them in for the sake of typing something. They speak about your communication skills as a candidate. So they're very important. And I personally use them as a very strong tool to gauge the communication and the candidate intent.
Absolutely.
And lastly, the third tip that I have for any candidates applying is practice your interviewing skills. When you start your job search, it is a good idea to brush up those interviewing skills that might have been sitting there for a while. I, for one, strongly believe in practicing in front of a mirror still before an interview. Remember that a good interview is about powerful communication and professional body language. So show up on time, probably ideally 2-3 minutes early. Make sure that you have a good internet connection, dress appropriately, stay engaged in the conversation. Recruiters are not looking for perfect answers and perfect people. We're looking for personable individuals that are skilled in their field and are willing to grow within the company.
That's great advice, Ayush, and it's one of those things where like it seems obvious when you hear it because so many people just do the mass non-customized application, but it's really a quantity over quality situation, right? You don't need 100 jobs, you just need one job. So just put in the extra work and it'll probably go a long way, and make sure to do it by following those three tips. So Ayush, thirdly, can you tell us a little bit about the roles you're currently hiring for? Maybe just a couple that there might be a lot right now. So if you maybe just want to highlight a few, and then we can of course link to the careers page as well.
Absolutely. At the top of the priority list, we're hiring for product design and product leadership roles. We're hiring for engineering management roles in data as well as front end. We're hiring for lots of roles in our operations team in hardware engineering, regulatory affairs, and manufacturing. We're also hiring in our marketing team. So literally in all areas of business, we're hiring everywhere. And we're hiring internationally as well. We've, in our recent past, grown the team internationally, located in all different areas. And so looking at seeing more candidates there.
We're going to share a link to the careers page. Otherwise, we'd have to spend another 30 minutes reviewing all those roles, right? Awesome. Ayush, last question we love to ask is, can you give a shout out to one person in the Canadian HR talent recruitment or people space just to spread some love and why you're giving them the shout out?
So many names come to mind, but keeping the most impact that I've had in the recent times, I'd love to give a shout out to Karis Cook. She is my current chief people officer. Besides being a fantastic leader and a great person that I can go to and talk about all of my concerns, she's been so great in supporting me, helping build the team. When I joined the team 6 months ago, we were 90 people, and we've added about 50 people in the last 6 months in this tight talent market, and all challenging, difficult to fill roles. The market is quite challenging as is, and the process would be even more difficult if we did not streamline things internally. She's been a huge support in helping me streamline things internally and keeping things moving at a very fast pace to make sure that we're not losing prospects candidates while doing our due diligence. So I cannot thank her enough, and this shout out is for her for being a huge supportive leader and a mentor.
Awesome. Very well said. Ayush, thanks so much for coming on the show. If somebody wants to get in touch with you or learn more, where do you recommend that they go?
They can reach out to me on LinkedIn or by email. My email address is ayush.grover@swiftmedical.io, or my LinkedIn. We can share that when you share the video. I'd be very excited to connect with candidates all across the globe and help them in creating a job strategy or landing a job with us or a different Canadian company.
Awesome. We'll include a link to the LinkedIn profile in the description below. Ayush, thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much. Lovely chatting with you.
Likewise.